There's my zone. Yeah, Cascade Trekker out here again, and we're into summer, just like that. Some things are going on with me. My shoulder has a torn tendon, pretty bad, and all starting from a bicycle car collision last summer, almost a year ago, and exacerbated through work. I'm done with work as of 2 days ago. I'm thinking that's going to be the best solution for healing. So we're just gonna relax now and get some hiking exercise and kind of heal the mind. This is close to the Snake River. It's been a recent bug out location twice now this season, and this time the road is open all the way back to the end. This is Black Canyon. There's Black Canyon Creek right here, and opportunities to hike up the canyon. This is June 10th, and still snow in the mountains, but I think I'll see it. I might have to cross it, but it's not going to be something where, you know, it's something I'll get lost in. This is an opportune time to shout out to the LifeQuest Urban Outreach Center in Grand Rapids. Yeah, hey guys, Cascade Trekker here. There's another opportunity to hike along the Snake River. There's a trail just down here, and it's a 5-mile stretch uninhabited along the river, which that might be nice to come back from being up higher to begin with, and check that out with whatever provisions I have left. Well, how about that? There's still a little more room for stuff in these pockets, maybe on the back too. Here's my shoulder brace. Seems to help. Yeah, I relocated the motorcycle just, 50 yards up the trail from the parking lot. I got about 5 minutes down the trail, and I heard probably a side-by-side pull up and just idle, for 5-10 minutes. And I just imagined them going through my stuff. So this was a no-brainer, real simple. The only people that are going to see it are the people riding on the trail or possibly hiking. And it's going to cut down on a whole lot of visibility from people just taking a drive up the road. Alright, here's the first creek crossing. I don't really want to get my feet wet. I could if I had to. Sharp rocks though, barefoot. I don't want to get the boots wet. So I did see a log to cross on. But the trick is going to be coming back through the forest. And there it is. Seems like the only trick will be coming up it and not slipping. There's moss on it. That'd be a bad place to fall too. Any place would be a bad place to fall. And we got some handholds. We're going to put the camera away. I don't want to drop it. Yeah, I had to fall on my belly and just inchworm up, and I'm still precarious. That was hardly worth it. I think I'll just get wet next time. And this thing here was in my way. Let's go. Here we got fresh animal tracks, deer or elk, big and small. Probably within the last 24 hours. Here's the next crossing. That looks real slippery. What I'm noting is it's not too wide. I don't know. I think I might try a walking stick and this. We'll see. I followed this kind of a side trail, animal trail maybe, thinking that there was something else to use. See, right here's a big animal track. I wonder if they just hopped across. Yeah, right up through here. Seems ridiculous. I just put this rock here. I'm going to try to pivot off of it onto this. I threw 2 rocks at this and it seemed pretty solid. There it is. It worked. And I might come back this way because this is higher and easier to jump across. Now up through here. Seems I'm stymied again. Here's another crossing just after the one I avoided. I'm just getting tired of looking for alternatives. Fact is, I'm getting hot. It might be nice to wade a little. That was just downright miserable, dealing with the shoe and sock change. I would do anything right now to have my wading shoes. Hallelujah! A bridge. Yep, we had a forest fire in here. Here's another bridge. And this is really a thick forest. Kind of spooky. Here's another big crossing. And more I'm just thinking the rest of this whole creek valley is going to be thick like this. Well, I was hoping for some clearings to camp at. Just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. here, and I went down to get some water, but this shrubbery is so thick you can hardly get to where it's flowing without falling in. I got a liter of water. Very difficult. This is like one of the hardest trips that I've undertaken. I mean, maybe because it's the first of the year, but this has been a pain in the ass, crossing the creek, getting the water, and now it climbs. I think I see it over here. I'm looking for a camping spot, but I need to have access to the water. I'm feeling it. Definitely feeling it. I haven't eaten since breakfast, and I'm gonna need to call it here soon, hopefully. There's some standing water over here, and right through here is a tree that was cut down by a beaver. Oh dear. Not exactly what I was hoping for. I almost want to go look under this big pine tree. I can see the creek. Almost a clearing down there by the creek too. Maybe that's where I'll go. Yeah, and here we have, oh man, it's too much water. Here we have the trail. Looks like it's going up this way. Or does it switch? No, it switches this way. Okay, gonna look for a camp. Here I am, just up the slope. There's that water down there, and I'm looking right here to put the tent. Nice and shady, breezy, but this is my concern. This just could be a thoroughfare for animals. I don't think I have much choice. This is a great place. A great place for a tent and a camp. And the water is accessible. Don't know if I'm going to clean any clothes. We'll see. Okay, my pack is down there. I'm going to bring it up. Pretty amazing. Cut logs over here. What's up with that? Old trail, maybe? And this is a worn path. I don't see animal prints. Maybe just for accessing the water. Yeah, here it is. Night number 2 on this trip up Black Canyon. It's gonna have to do. It's a comfortable, breezy, cool location. That's nice. I'm sweaty and dirty. I wish I could be down there by that water to clean up and clean my stuff. But that big pond is an invitation for moose, maybe elk, maybe bear. I haven't seen any bear signs, I've seen plenty of elk tracks. Anyway, I'm in a pretty huge swath of nettle. It's all interspersed in this slope. I've been stung a few times setting up my tent. Here's an example of the nettle. It's got the pointy leaves, and if you look close you can almost see the barbs. But I might just put a couple leaves in my dinner for some vitamins. I hung the bag here kind of as a visual marker for any animals. There are elk tracks coming through here, elk droppings in here. The odor of my human scent is going to travel up this draw, hopefully to alarm the bear with his good sense of smell. And with that, it's just going to be relaxing. Okay, I've got a light dinner prepared here. This is with ramen noodles, turmeric, a red pepper seasoning. There are walnuts in there, and we have a couple of the nettle leaves and also sweet yellow peppers. And that's going to hit the spot. And also, there's a beaver over here thumping his tail. Yay. It's going to be another great day. I know it. Kind of drying out my stuff. Sleeping bag, foot area was damp. Again, the rain fly collected condensation, and I believe there's some condensation under my sleeping pad. Last night was a little colder. The cold was coming down and required me to roll over to warm that side up. Nothing I couldn't deal with. I slept well. Other than there's a lump right where the small of my back is, and it was kind of pulling me down. Again, nothing I couldn't deal with. Here's the trip scenario. There are a bunch of trails running through this Snake River Range, some on top of the range, which I'll be getting up higher today, but there's no water up there. There might be snow to get water from, and there might be snow covering some trails, maybe even stopping my progress if it's a steep slope or a trail going over a mountain peak. So I think what today's plan is, I'll load up with 3 liters of water. I think it's about a 1,200 foot climb to an intersection and a ridge top, and from there I'll decide what to do for the evening and the following day. I'd like to spend 2 more days up here after finding a source of water for tomorrow. Worst case scenario is I'll bail back down to this creek and this source of water. And that's the plan. Real quiet night, no animals around, no owls. Seems the birds at night, and in the morning wanted to be out of this hollow. It was rather quiet down here. Yeah, I'm all set. 3 liters of water in the bag. Good to go. Got a quick facial arm wash. And I'm sitting here looking right over there to a really good possible camp location I missed. But I guess I had it in my mind to stay away from this. You can see there's animal footprints in the bottom of this little pond, and so that's okay. It was a good night. Still pretty thick. I'm making noise every now and then. No bear signs. Just deer or elk. There's a nice view of Black Mountain again. Higher up. I'm near the top. I probably need to get about as high as this slope here. Bunch of snow. Hopefully I'll find some draining. Kind of doubt it. Snake River Valley over here. Alright, I think we have our first bear sign. I don't think it's elk dung. Okay. Yeah. I'm very near the top. Yeah. I'm seeing some nice big old trees now. I'm real close to the top. Starting to feel it in my shoulder and having to rest. That's okay. That pack, it got 8 pounds heavier with that water. Look at this amazing nettle patch right here. Way up here at, 8,000 plus feet. Amazing. Still, I'm looking out for some water. Never know where it just might be springing somewhere. Whenever you are told that dirt bikes ride on the hiking path or trail, you can expect it to be rutted. I'll give you an example. But it's very difficult to hike in a rut. A, hard to keep your balance. B, your foot is moving around in the boot. And those socks I have on are dirty from yesterday. I've got an issue on my left heel. Just hoping there's a snow patch up here I can access to clean some things. Well, just from my last sitting spot, it's my first destination. Little Burns Creek, 1 mile. Big Burns Creek, 4. West Pine Creek to Piney Peak 3. Alright, so I'm going to set my stuff down, take a break, assess my heel, and look, somebody left a water bottle here. Pretty amazing. Anyway, this could be a camp spot. I'm going to look at the map and see about West Pine Creek. Just a short distance from the intersection. I'm climbing up, and here's a trickle of water, another trickle over here, and there's snow melting right up here. There's a darn good chance I could make a catch and catch water. Wow, what a view! It's amazing. I got it. This is what I wanted. I started down there, maybe about 6 miles, maybe more. And I'll probably camp just in here with these trees. There's the snow I wanted. Now, by the map, I think the second draw coming up on the other side is a spring. I could look for that, or see if any of this is draining anywhere. Here's the closest opportunity here to camp. I've got this melting here. It's a possibility. Easy access, than instead looking for a spring. And I could build a catch right here. The only thing is, it stops melting at night. Alright, I started the catch. It looks pretty good. It's you know, 3 or 4 inches deep, enough to dip a cup into. That mud and dirt is going to settle. I'll come back and check on it. Here, the other thing is, I can melt snow. My plan was to stay up here if I could find a water supply. Tons of food, tons of things to explore over this way. I think it's going to work out. Yeah, here's the zone. I've got an imported mahogany camp chair. My Serta sleeper is going to be setting here. I'm having dinner delivered in 1 hour, and my clothes are going to be dry cleaned and delivered in 2 hours. Alright, I'm out kind of scouting. Here's the quintessential camp, the hunter's camp right here. I'm down there near the snow, and here we have some mighty big hoof tracks, most likely moose, maybe a big elk, I doubt it. No real scat signs yet, just maybe small cats. And I'm thinking somewhere down in this direction is the spring I was looking for. I got my eyes peeled for anything up here, and the bear spray. I think my spot's a good one. It's not in a real thick forest, open with a breeze. Things are looking good on the water. I just kind of did things around camp. I'm back up to 3 liters, which is what I started with. 1 filtered, 1 from the creek, and this one here is part creek water, part snow melting, and then maybe 8 ounces water from the catch. And the catch is dirty, but I'm gonna go with it. And also I've got this snow melting here in my dinner cup for my dinner. Yes, it's morning time. Full exposure here, early on, with a few bits of shade. I'm not going to leave the tent here. It's too much sunlight for a long time. I'm just going to relocate a very short distance along the ridge, closer to the possible spring location. There are some distant clouds that are a bit closer now. It seems they've been edging north and east. Just a little curious about what's going to happen with the weather. I don't want to be exposed up here to a thunderstorm. I'd rather be in a thicket of trees. Here, this hunter's camp. I'm just kind of thinking I'll set a camp here. It's almost within visual range of my last spot. I really don't want to carry this full pack any more than I have to. I like to give the shoulder a break. What's nice about this place is it's defensible in the sense I have things to climb up on if you know, I need to get out of reach of an animal that can't climb. I do like that. We have, you know, almost continual shade if I'm setting up right here. It's a good location for any heavy weather too, I think. Here's camp, and I'm going off in search of this spring. It's at the bottom of this draw. I go a quarter mile that way. I don't see anything just yet, and I'm not going to venture into this stuff. I will go over here and take a peek. Well, I came from up there, and I had a sense on the map that it wasn't too much further down in elevation from the low point of that trail. And I'm not gonna drop down through any of this, but I've been kind of heading this way, and it's not going to be too much longer that I invest into this search. Back on the trail here, and this is Chicken Peak, I believe, and I gathered up my camera and water to get up to the top of that. Now I've got one more option other than just melting snow, which could just be the trick anyway. I've got 1 liter at camp, 1 in my bag, but in this sort of a draw-like basin, all the snow is melting, and maybe down at the bottom, like a funnel, it'll be draining. I'm not going to invest too much energy in that, but it's an option. Well, I've dropped down considerably away from Chicken Peak, knowing there was an intersection over here, and I guess I'm gonna go up to Chicken Peak. I've just walked about a mile from camp, and here it says it's another mile up to the top. Well, I was just at the bottom of it. Any water, for instance this one, is an excessive drop in elevation, almost as much as I climbed up yesterday. I'm getting up here, hasn't been that far, and I was looking at this snowshoot here, saw a trail here, whether it be animal, it's got to be animal. And I said, well, that's got to be melting. And way down here, I heard it when I stopped. There's flowing water emptying from that snowshoot. And I am so thirsty right now. How far is that? You know, I thought maybe I could get over there. It may not be uncovered until there. Such a tease right now. Yeah, Chicken Peak, 8,400 feet. This guy's 87. That's Black Mountain over here. My camp is just on the left side of that clearing, and I took the long way to this draw and then back this way. There's the faint trail that I'm going to take down. It just goes right straight down. But what I'm going to do for the first time ever is I am going to soak my feet on the snow. It's amazing. And I know they needed to be cleaned. It's also a great thing to spread on your head and your neck to cool down, clean off a little bit. It's cold, it gets cold fast. This is one nice thing I wanted to get on this trip, was a view of the Teton Mountains. And another one that I'm pretty sure I'm seeing is Caribou Peak. We'll zoom in on those. Steep going here. I saw this, but I didn't want to climb it in the direct sun. It was a very hot day. Okay, sweaty. I powered up with some Powerade, made some ice cubes with snow. That one was great. So now I'm just melting snow for dinner, but I've come up with this nice routine. I've got a bar of soap in a hanky, and I take just little pieces of snow and put it in there. Okay, and I try to keep it clean. And I just work this so that it's like a lather with the rag. And then I've wiped my whole upper body down. And maybe now some other places. Okay. Man, what a day. I believe I started out the day dehydrated and went looking for the spring to no avail, conserving my water through that. Then approaching Chicken Peak the long way, conserving water all through that. And the sun was hot and very little shade. And just after that intersection, I saw the snow chute and that water spewing out. I can't describe how it felt that I was gonna drink that water. That water coming out of a snow chute was ice cold, probably crystal clear, pure, and I just wanted to run down to it. So I took a few steps and realized there was a cliff, and realized also that that snow chute, whether there was snow in it or not, would have been hard to get into, and it would have taken a lot out of me to get down to that water. And fact of the matter is, I'm doing okay with snow melt. Up Chicken Peak, it was great. I found a patch of snow to kind of cool off my head and stuff some snow into my bladder as I'm going. It would melt. And yeah, I got to the top, got my views, and then down that steep slope. Man, that was hard too. Real hard. It's been 3 days, maybe 8 or 9 miles and 3,000 feet up in elevation. And today, this afternoon, I'm trying to chill. I had to drag my tent 3 or 4 times to get away from this encroaching sunset that was, I just couldn't be in that baking sun, man. And I'll probably get another blast right here in another 15 minutes. That's it. I'm gonna head back down tomorrow. Don't know how far I'll get. Definitely gonna load up on water at that spring and decide if I will camp near that beaver pond or just hike the rest of the way out. We'll see how it goes. And now it's dinner time. Yeah. It's another morning. Friday morning. What is it? Day 4? Day 5? Day 5. And last night, wow. I can't believe it didn't rain here. This whole skyline, I woke up and the winds were whipping. I had left the rain fly open to kind of keep it cool. And I woke up and the winds were whipping and the whole skyline was just flashing. Brilliant, bright flashes of lightning. And I didn't hear any thunderclaps. and one seemed really, really close. Still no thunderclaps, and even a few over here. And I prepared for rain and figured I would get wet. And I guess it's good, because I'm hiking down that trail and it would just be a gnarly, slippery, muddy, wet mess from all the dirt bikes that ride on it. It's probably the reason there are no animals around. All right, last night, just after dark, there was a deer in here, and I said something to myself and it took off, pranced away. I've had up here many tanagers doing their cricket chirps, and oh, look at this. Nice bright colors on that guy. So we've had lots of bird activity up here. That's pretty much it. Thanks for the cameo appearance, Mr. Tanager. There's one more thing I want to say about being out here for extended time. Staying fresh, feeling fresh is important, because you know, when your body turns sour, it's uncomfortable. You just want to rush out and get a shower. So what I have with me is antiperspirant, anti-deodorant, not on a stick. I took the contents of the stick out, and it's in a little Ziploc, and I just take a chunk, rub it under my arms, rub it on my feet, the feet bottoms, and around my private area, and it just kind of lifts me up like another 50%. Also, I have foot powder that I put in my boots, and also baby powder that mostly I put in my pants at night. So those three things, you know, without having a place to clean up, just makes a huge difference. You know, and that huge difference is going to get me back to the trailhead. Here we have a trailside wild strawberry patch. Maybe about 1 month berries. Here it is, the first crossing going back, probably the widest, and I found a decent crossing stick, and yeah, I'm just gonna go for it each time. Kind of find a good place to sit down, take my boots off. Here we go. Almost back. Motorcycle is real close now. As far as this creek, there are 4 water crossings where there isn't a bridge, and there are 2 water crossings where there are bridges. Okay, so I managed the foot crossings with only having to take my boots off for the first one. Everything's good, and I've decided to push down to the riverfront for one more night. It might be a mile away or so. Check it out. Yeah, about a 15-minute climb up over this ridge. And here we have the Snake River down here. I'm thinking the trail switches down there, and we'll be looking for a camp spot down there. Right above it now. Pretty steep here. We're hoping for some flat spots over here. Had four motorcycles come through here. Yeah, I wouldn't come here if you don't like motorcycles. So far, not so bad, but we'll see. Well, it's not looking so good for a camp spot. You know, I guess I'll go a little more. And the water is higher, much higher than it was when I was here 6 to 8 weeks back. Yeah, starting to feel it, and I'm thinking maybe in here I can find something. It's the first viable place because there's some drainages here. It's not really waterfront property. I really need to douse these clothes, the shirt and pants, with water. There's a big tree over here. Let's go take a look. Yeah. It's messy in here. There's a bunch of downed branches by that big tree where I thought of it being a good spot. Now we're back out over here. Maybe in here. A bit close to the trail. Let's see, this could work in here. I'm done. I'm beat. It's a big day. I just had a tick on my arm, and this is this drier area here is more prone for ticks. I don't know if I'm gonna stay. I'm not liking it. I really want to have that creek water near where I'm parked. Yeah, I think I might just bail back over there, clean up some clothes, clean myself up. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. Easy access. And right when I came down over here, there was a huge turkey that went up this way. His head easily was 3.5 feet tall. Just beautiful looking bird. All right, so I'm gonna cool off. I'm trying to think of a good place for the tent. It looks like this is like a dirt bike arena right here. I just hope they don't come around when I'm down here. Do